So, Paul, we are live. We are together for once. Just let you know the camera's there.
I'm looking at the camera. Tom's got me a pro setup now, and I'm looking down my arse in my elbow.
We're proper set up this week. I hope everyone's doing all right. As you can see, it's none of that Google Hangouts. Me and Paul, we're together this week. I've come down to Paul's, so we're ready for Expo. I'm going to ask Paul the same question. Paul, I know you're not drinking out. I know what you've had for tea, but I think everybody else wants to know. What have you had for tea? What are you drinking? And
I've had the Chinese, and I'm going to get some drink. What you want, Tom? Tango?
Anything that's wet, please, and cold.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. Where is the shower? Well, I don't know if Paul was actually around last night to see what was going on with the shower last night. Did you see what happened on the hangout last night? Not the hangout, on the live feed last night. I sort of got in the shower and started singing songs into Shandy on the Dubs live feed last night. It went from 40 viewers when we was giving away AF juice to 75 viewers within seconds as I went in. So yeah, that's where the shower is. The shower's at home. So Paul didn't even know about the shower last night. So it was actually quite a funny live feed. So we've had Chinese. It's beautiful outside. We're both stressing about Expo as expected. Well, Paul's not. I am. Let's get that one right. I am. But it's going to be absolute mint. So this week, we're just going to see how long we can take the show because we want to do a pre-warm-up show for Expo. As you can imagine, I've come out with some crazy stuff that I want Paul and me to do on the stage. I do want to get a few of you guys involved and stuff like that, but I want to do sort of a rundown of what's going on this week and this weekend for Expo. That's orange. And do you know what? I'll be honest. I put that over and over another juice, and it's just clean, straight through. I've had Trogasm on there, and it's just come through. It's absolutely mint.
Orange.
So, as I say, guys, I'm down at Paul's because we're doing the run-up for Expo. We're going to be at the NEC from tomorrow, so we wanted to do sort of a rundown of your expectations of Expo. Paul, this is your fourth time?
Fifth.
May,
October. So it's our fifth.
Where's the time gone? Where has the time gone?
I don't know. I'm going to get something else.
So basically, this week, me and Paul are going to run down of what we're going to be doing, sort of stuff we've got planned, and wanting your guys sort of say so on how you expect Expo to be. I know there's a lot of you in here that haven't been to Expo, and we obviously want to give you sort of not an expectation, but we want to sort of run through what you guys think, what you're expecting of Expo, what you're expecting from us. Paul's just come in with 2 bags, and I think some people might want to see some stuff. There we go.
This is just one of each variant.
Nice.
So every single one of them is a different wire. N80 staggered Claptons.
So as you know, Paul's been absolutely manic this week trying to sort absolutely everything out. How many bags of wire will this be to pack?
8,000 spools.
There you go. So as you can imagine, I know Paul was out last night till stupid o'clock last night, sorting everything out. I think one of the main things that we've sort of not really stressed on is the fact of how much preparation goes into a 3-day weekend. I think, as Paul says, we might be doing some certain things for you guys to see how it's set up and stuff like that and whatnot. And I spoke to a couple of people today and seen the hall itself, and the hall is literally still an empty hall.
Massively.
Just an empty hall. There's loads of work to do. People are working through the night. We're going tomorrow. We'll probably start stupid o'clock in the morning. Won't finish till stupid o'clock at night. But it's all to go to the Expo, have some fun, and sort you guys out. So I'm happy with what's going to happen. We've done it We've done it numerous of times. It's always a stress, but it is fun though. Definitely is fun. But you're ready. Saturday afternoon, I know you're ready to sit down, chill out, and sort of go, yeah, see you later.
But we literally still haven't got some of the stock from China. And there's a chance that won't come until Friday morning. The lads are still down at the printers now. I'm flicking backwards and forwards doing the Hangout and Facebook because I'm talking. And we've got stuff is literally being printed as we speak. We have people down at the yard. People have been at the Dudley shop all day today, packing wire, getting stuff out of there into the van ready to go to the NEC in the morning. Tasha's down the Yardley shop now with staff getting stuff out of that shop ready to get on the van to go down to the NEC in the morning. It's fucking long.
But when Monday comes and we're all going Moosar, we're definitely all going at the same time. Do you know what? That wasn't that bad, but the run up to it, and I've said this to Paul all day today, the run up to it is crazy, absolutely crazy. You don't know where you're coming or going, and you've literally just got to be so focused. I'm stressing. This is the boss man. I don't know what's going through his head, but I'm stressing. He's the boss man.
No, obviously, I stress out to make sure that we do what we need to do, that we put on a right show for the people that come to see us. And once, like I said last night, I think on my status, if we get to, if we're working through tomorrow night, as long as we're ready to go Friday morning, then I'm happy.
Yeah, it's always the same though, isn't it, with us? It's always the same sort of, it's because there's so much to do. You'd even think about the littlest things and you forget the littlest things, so you're always constantly chasing your tail. And I really, really can't stress enough that so many people put so much time and effort into it. Not just us, everybody does it, and everyone's sort of grafting weeks and weeks, months and months before to get everything sorted. As you can imagine, Paul's been on to making these mods for the last 6-8 months, ready for Expo, to drop at Expo. So it's been a long process. So when you guys walk through the door and it's all lights and it's all camera action, all that sort of stuff, you guys are just seeing the finished product. We've got to make the finished product and end the finished product. You know what I mean? So I'd love for you guys to see that. Hopefully we're going to do that, but obviously something that's sort of on the last of the cards because we are generally busy, but we have come on tonight sort of to give you an Expo rundown. So Paul, what is your expectations for Expo regarding AF, Build'em and the new Emperor mod?
Monday I should be like, fuck.
Not necessarily expectation. All right, maybe I worded it wrong. What would you like? Not necessarily what would you like to see, but would you like to see a great response to it? Or would you like people giving honest feedback about the juice and coming and trying it and seeing the new mod and sort of? You're very much a person who likes feedback and will work on feedback. So would you appreciate somebody rather going, this is not my flavour, but it's a great juice, rather than just going, AF's crap?
I hate that with anyone's stuff. I hate someone who says an endless mod shit that hasn't used an endless mod. I hate someone that says a road mod shit, even though all road mods are shit because mods are pre. I mean, the thing that I'm excited about the juice for is because we've put it out there to over 50 shops in whatever it is a week.
Not even that.
And we've not had no negative feedback whatsoever. Now, obviously, these people are parting money to sell it to make more money. So, out of anyone that's ever going to give us shitty feedback, it's going to be a retailer that's parting with their money who's trying to sell it on. And at the moment, we've had nothing but wicked feedback. Yeah. Genuinely believe that we've created, first off, a wicked brand, and the branding behind this whole range is wicked, and the stand's going to look fire. We've come up with 12 profiles that don't cater to everyone, but we've still got a lot more ranges to drop. But the 12 that we've got are good flavours. Might not be your cup of tea, but they're good quality flavours.
Yeah, they say what they are on the tin, definitely 100%. And it's, to me, if I've tried juices out there, and I've been deadly honest with you from the start, I've still yet to try every single juice because I'm literally a person who fills up a tank and will vape that juice until it's finished. And I've done that. I'm currently on Borage. I filled that up. Love it. Strawgasm, empty bottle at home. Sublime, empty bottle at home. CVC, definitely an empty bottle at home. All the flavours are complex flavours. I can't just say, oh yeah, it tastes like cola bottles or whatever. It tastes like Coke. Cherry, it tastes like vanilla cherry Coke. Exactly what it's meant to be. And as Paul said, the juice itself might not be to your flavour, but if there's not one flavour in that line that you like, I would be very, very surprised. Very surprised. Because they are really good flavours. And I think the brand itself has a long way to go, because we can do things like different lines of juice and stuff like that. And maybe if we could do a poll and see what you guys think about what we could do next and stuff like that, would be cool. Get a lot of feedback. As Paul said, it's usually the general public that we like the feedback from, to say, well, where would you like to see us to go next? Because I know Paul's got plenty of ideas.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with the AF thing for me was that if we were to bring out endless clouds, could have been. I know there's some other cunts got that fucking name
in America, yeah.
In America, motherfuckers. I hope his juice tastes like cactus and so if we were to have dropped, say, endless clouds, and then we bring out 6 flavour profiles, and then next month we dropped another 4, and next month we dropped another 4, and next month we dropped another 4, people would go, fucking hell, he's got 60 fucking flavours in that range. We're actually, by doing it under the AF branding of creamy as fuck, fruity as fuck, fizzy as fuck, we will never, ever, ever launch more than 4 flavours in each range, apart from we're doing one specifically for mouth to lung vapors very shortly after Expo, which will probably consist of 8 flavours. It's going to be called All Day as Fuck. So it's going to be your tobaccos, your menthols, your ice menthols, your cherry menthol, your blackcurrant menthol, them type of all day vapes. They will still take the high VG nick shot. You can still sub them, however the actual profiles around them particular 8 will be specifically targeted towards a mouth to lung vapor. Apart from that, 4 flavours. So even if, for argument's sake, the cherry bomb, which actually I think is fire, cherry bomb's one of my favourite ones in the range. If that was to bomb, excuse the pun, and we drop that off the range, we may put another fizzy as fuck in there, but we'll never have 5 fizzy as fucks running at the same time. We'll never have 5 creamy as fucks, only 4. And we can do the. I'm not even going to say any names, man. It's too much. I fucking watch my life. It's just drop shit faster than I get it out there. But there's lots to come from the range without the range becoming boring. Actually, we can keep the range fresh as fuck.
I just want to mention, guys, if you put in questions in the chat, obviously this is a warm-up show for Saturday. We do want people in the audience on Saturday at 2:30 to get involved. So if you want to leave your questions, like I've seen Macaulay ask a question in chat, that is a perfect question that should be asked on Saturday. I'm gonna take the mic into the crowd. I will probably jump into the crowd, maybe not crowd surf, but I might jump into the crowd. Come in, drop a few mics and see what people want to ask us and stuff like that. So we are doing a little Q&A. So if there's questions you have got, make sure you do get there at 2:30, because questions like what Macaulay just said is perfect for Saturday. So make sure you're there with your questions, because I am literally going to be like boom, boom, boom. But I want to just press on something about Saturday as well. Be very, very prepared. That's all I want to say on that situation so far. Be prepared, because I've had a few things okayed by Paul this evening that we are going to be doing on Saturday. So we are very excited for what's going to go on the stage. As you know, last October, we absolutely tore that stage a new arsehole, Paul. We absolutely killed that stage.
To be fair, us and VGs went up there and done.
We did it in May as well. So we did the Cloud Comp in May as well. So we tore the stage up with the Cloud Comp in May. Then we did the V-Juice Endless show, like on the stage, throwing out and stuff like that, and went absolutely crazy. Great people feedback. As I said last week, the Minute Silence was also amazing. Just glad we don't have to do it this time. No, we haven't lost anybody, so we don't have to do it this time. That's definitely a bonus.
The Minute Silence, that was humbling to say the least. Yeah, I mean, we've got some. The brief I've had off the Vapor Expo, off Jay Cox in particular, is half an hour session, questions and answers, followed by giveaway. So I think what we're going to do is we will, as Tom said, we're going to be asking you guys if you've got any questions. We'll come out with the mic. You can ask away, ask me something, ask Tom something, ask us both something, and we'll answer it the best that we can, be as honest as we can. And then when we go into the giveaway section, you guys are going to have to work for some shit. And we'll be giving away some mods, some of the new Emperors. If they come from China, that is what we're waiting for. The Emperors are still in transit. But we've got the new Emmys, we've got the purple Emmy, we've got the Neos, the brass, and the new black rhodium chrome, which is darker, which is fire.
The purple is different. The purple is honestly, I've not seen a mod like that.
You haven't seen it in the flesh, have you? I'll go and get something closer. If I can find them, I've got a photo around here.
Get some exclusive here. I love chucking bottles at people, Adele said. Well, that's not going to be happening this year, I'm afraid to say. There's no chucking bottles, there's no chucking out, so sort of expect to be joining us, shall we say, for what's going to go on the weekend. But there's lots and lots of stuff. Even so, guys, even if you come to the stand, come say hello to us, try the juice, give us some feedback. It would mean a lot to us just to get your feedback as much as anything else. You know, as we've said, the general public is yet to majority try it. There's a lot of people that's had it, but the majority of the general public that are going to be at Expo haven't tried it. So we do want you to come over, give it a try, tell us what you think, give us your honest opinions. And that's generally what we want you to do. That's the whole point. So Paul's coming back with a surprise, I believe.
I'm not. I can't find
it. Adele was on the stage with us in October, Pixie. We got Adele out of her shell. She came onto the stage with us. She did the throat with us, and it was really, really good. I would say October was great. Sort of, it was very much like we all got together. We had a laugh. We grafted our backside off, which we do every time we go. We grafted and grafted and grafted, but we did actually really sort of take that time to. A lot of Adele was over at the stand, Adam was at the stand the majority of the time, and bringing people over and stuff like that. And it was really nice to see the support, and that you can't ever sort of knock the support that Endless has had as a brand. And obviously, we wish that the AF Juice Co has that same support from you guys as well. That is the whole, you know, we do enjoy and absolutely love the fact what we do get support from you guys. You know, it just gives us that tap on the back to say, do you know what I mean? We are doing something right. We're doing it well. And that's what we want to see. So as I say, if you come over to the stand, if you are at Expo, come over, see the new mod, try the new juice, and just give us some feedback, because unless we have your feedback, we don't know what the general public thinks. And you guys are the general public. You are the consumer. We love hearing your opinions, whether it's a bad opinion, a good opinion, or saying something could be different is perfect. And Paul has come with a surprise. Yes. I'm going to mention this before you put it on camera. This mod in pictures does not justify what it looks like in real life, and that is honest opinion. It doesn't, any picture would not give that mod justification. So even if you just come in to see that beauty, that is absolutely mint.
So look, proper review and holding around on something to get focused.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It doesn't give it any justification on the camera whatsoever. That's sweet as well. That is proper sweet. It's not blue, by the way, Reese. It's purple. As I say, pictures.
They are bluey purple.
Yeah, if you move it,
you will get different colours. It's like a neo purpley type.
It's the light in it. When the light shines on it, you get that blue effect, but it is actually sort of like a dark purple. Yeah, that looks sick as well. I do like
so even them two slightly different colours.
Yeah, they are. So the wool won't be one the same, will there?
A bit like the Neos, really. It's the same process that they use.
Yeah, no justification on camera or pictures or anything. And I said to Paul that I couldn't wait to see them in real life, because they are proper mint.
That one, Reese, is black rhodium chrome. And it's
purple with a blue tint. With the light, it does have a blue tint. Yeah, you're right. Kaylee, the Emperor in the purple, does look the tits. It looks the tits. It really does look good. Really looks good. The shiny black one is where it's at. So good feedback on them so far. But as I say, pictures, film, do not give them mods justification whatsoever. So let's go on to you taking 5 minutes out to walk around Expo if you get time. What would is your expectation same every year, or is it? I know you go around Expo to speak to people you haven't spoken to in ages, rather than looking around for devices and stuff like that. I know but do you have the sort of same mindset of what you're going for when you walk around and stuff like that? Because we can get product whenever it is. Obviously, we go to speak to people and whatnot, and have a chat with somebody we've not seen in ages. Is that sort of your same expectations every year? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, obviously we go there. Primarily, my main thing is to make sure that what we're doing properly, and it's done right, and the stand's done, and the stock's done, and the staff are on point. And we've got quite a lot of staff there this time, just because the first time we've ever had juice, and I'm not sure how that's managed because I've never done it before. So people tasting juices, trying to service them and make sure they're looked after is a massive priority of mine. The endless, regardless of how busy it is, we cope. There's sometimes we have a bit of a queue and whatever, but we get through it and we deal with it. The juice, I think, is going to be different. So I've probably overegged the amount of people that we've got working for us this weekend, but I think it's right that we should do that. So my primary concern is always making sure what we're doing is done properly, that the staff are doing what they need to do properly. And then after that, really, is to show when I can chill and not when I can't, and do what I've got to do when I've got to do it, and see the people that I want to see. Unfortunately, the likes of Dale have fucked off to Germany. And I wish them, anyone that's gone to Germany, wish them all the success, and hope that they have the same sort of response they do when they're in the UK. Is Matt going as bankrupt? I don't know. Actually, Matt and I had a conversation a few weeks ago, and he was going. I've since heard he's not going, but that is absolutely, I don't know, so I can't even confirm whether Matt's going or whether he's not going.
Okay, that's a good opinion. Man, don't even like Nex, and that's pushing my buttons. So just something different. Regarding Expo, I just want to mention, like you said earlier, with queues and stuff like that, and trying to service people. And if you do come over to the stand and it's busy, I just want to let people who've never been before that we will try to get to you as soon as possible. We try to treat everybody, we do treat everybody the same, and we make sure we get enough time to speak to people, and that we sort of give them the correct service. So if you are waiting in the queue, we will try to get to you as soon as possible, and we will get to you and service you. So, and if we're having a conversation with somebody, and especially if it's just somebody, like if I'm having a word with Paul or something like that, please come over, say hello. Please, sort of, if you want services, let us know. Just coming over to say hello. Do you know what I mean? I just want to let people know that we do try service people exactly the same. So if I am speaking to someone, with obviously going to be resolving the issue with them, or serving them first, or whatever the issue is, or whatever they want. So I want to let everybody know that we will obviously take our time with you, whether we get 15 seconds, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. I just don't want people to come over and be like, I want to have a word with Tom, and I seem sort of off, or Paul said exactly the same, sort of, if he's speaking to somebody and he sort of says hello, shakes your hand, and then goes off because he's doing something. I don't want anybody to feel like not to ever to come over. Definitely come over. As I say, please come over, say hello, introduce yourself. Make sure you introduce yourself as your name, because I don't know everyone's Facebook profile picture or YouTube picture, because unless you look like your cat or your Christmas tree or whatever, I don't have a clue. So as I say, guys, if you're going to be there on the Saturday, get your questions ready. And when I ask in the crowd, if you do really want to ask a question, you do want to get involved, I will sort of say, who wants to ask a question? Get your hands up, blow some vape or whatever to get my attention. Shout me. We'll get you up. You can ask your question. I do want to sort of get everybody involved regarding the endless banter on the Saturday. We do endless banter for the community. We do it so we can come have a laugh and a catch up. Me and Paul do have a catch up on the banter, more majority of having a laugh and everything like that. But definitely sort of get your questions ready. Come over to us sort of when we're on the stage, get your questions ready and have some tasty questions ready, because we are doing it to have a little bit of banter, have some fun, obviously promote our product. We're never going to sit here and go, well, we're not going to do it just for that. We are promoting our products. We are trying to get the brand out there and everything like that. We're not, you know, that's the reason we do it. And obviously we want you guys to get involved, asking questions, and then we'll give you back by doing the giveaway. But the giveaway will be so crazy, proper crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I am actually really hyped about, and I've said this to Paul. I've said I am nervous about going on the stage. I am always nervous about getting on the stage prior to getting onto it. The minute I get on it, I get excited. You guys hype me up, and we have fun. So the more sort of you guys give us that feedback, the more we feel comfortable, the more we sort of feel hyped on the situation. Because I said this to Paul, whether you've got 10 bottles or 10,000 bottles, when you guys get us hyped, we want to give you more. Not always the case is going to happen, but what I'm saying is you get us feeling the right way so we can sort of feel comfortable. You know, you've got to remember there's a difference between me and Paul sat here having a chat with you guys online to standing in front of 2,000 to 3,000 people, and that's what it was in October and was in May. You know, you can imagine it is quite daunting, and obviously we get that feedback from you guys and get some positive energy, and you know, you guys are blowing your vape, you're screaming, you're shouting, just shout free shit or whatever, you know, give us that hype back and we feel more comfortable. And you can vouch for that, because I know what you were like in October. You nearly hit someone at the head with a box in October.
You know, it's easy to get carried away, as to put, like Tom says, for as much as I can do a live feed and have a laugh and a joke and rant and rave and do all that thing, when you're getting up there before you're going up to speak direct to an audience, it is daunting. And Tom's already shitting himself about it. Tom's clearly not as busy as I've been, because I haven't had time to fucking think about it. I know as we get closer to 12:30 on Saturday, I'll be thinking, oh fucking hell. But I know once we're up there and we get some feedback and we get some reaction from you guys, we just crack on and do our thing. Definitely when we get to the giveaway bit, there's going to be some banter. Simple as that. So
proper. But I do generally sort of, because we've seen it from the very beginning. You know, like that picture you put up a few weeks back of how the Endless Stand first started to what it was like in October. It's just mental to see just how organically companies have grown, because we know there's companies that there have got big bucks and they go there with big bucks and they've got the biggest stand there and they've got all this money invested and whatnot, and millions and millions of pounds. You don't see any progress, but when you actually walk around these shows and you've walked around them 5 times, you see the progress of companies.
To be honest, obviously I've seen it in our own stand, and it's yeah, it makes you proud. You know, like the picture I posted a few weeks ago of the 2 different stands from when we done our first one to when we done October last year, and it's a proud feeling to see how that's grown. But blatantly, that's down to you guys' support. I heard Tom saying when I was looking for the Emmys about the support that we've had. To be honest, even as Shady Vaping, from the vaping to the retail side, we've always had really good support. That said, without blowing smoke up my own arse, I think we've always tried to give as much as we can give back, whether that be in time, in the products that we sell, in the way that we conduct the business. We try and do things the best way that we can do them, and that showed in the support that we've got back from you guys to launch Endless, and it become the success that it became. Is humbling. I'm more hyped about the liquid, because actually I believe we've created something that's going to be special. That's genuine. I think it's. I'm absolutely intrigued to see what feedback we're getting after the weekend, when it's gone out there to a lot more people. We've already had shops reordering and stuff like that, which is fantastic in such a short period of time. So that's brilliant. Our own shops have been selling, and certainly for the amount that we put into both of our shops was more than what we would normally put in for anyone else's liquid. because even though obviously the same as Endless, if we have Endless in the shop, we buy it from Endless. We have AF in the shop, we buy it from the AF because that'll be set up as a brand new company. And we've restocked both of our shops twice with liquid in the same amount of time as everyone else. So it's actually a week today, isn't it, that we launched it. So in a week we've actually restocked both of our own shops twice. I know that Ace of Vapes had sell out over the weekend in 3 of their 6 stores.
Just we can't tell you enough. If you do want to see it locally and it's not in the store locally and they want it, please let us know, because their radiuses are going, and I've already had to turn away 2 customers because of the radiuses. And it's simple as that. First come, first serve. If you want it in your store or you want to see it in a local store, get at them, tell them you want to see it, and we'll supply them if the radius is right, because they are flying out. Paul, I'm going to ask you this question because someone's asking it, but I don't think it's a right question for the weekend. But it says, would you ever create an MEV2 with a miniature endless switch that's like fitted to the cleaner? I know the answer to this, but yeah.
No, it's the truth of it. We looked at it. I mean, to use the clean switch on it isn't possible. To use a locking switch on it is possible, but the contact inside would have to be bigger to take the threads from the locking switch, which would extend the height of the mod. So as it stands at this minute in time, no. However, I am looking at a new switch that come into my head in a vision about, honestly, the night before last, and I was like, that could be cool, because it actually, you'd be able to twist the switch at the bottom and 90 degrees and it'd lock it in place, and then twist it back and it's okay.
That's pretty cool.
And basically, if you can imagine.
The thing is, I've got with this is it's because it's that dinky, start adding things to it, start making it bigger, starts making it bulky.
Yeah, I mean, this is there for a reason at this size.
Yeah.
And I don't think it needs it personally. But that says, I am looking at a new switch design that I just had a thought about. All I know from taste test, Pink Blood Vape's as good as it tastes on the tongue. It's absolutely solid.
Nice. Tommy, you look shattered. Just wait till Monday morning. Just wait till Monday morning. That's called driving to Birmingham. It's absolutely knackering, but we do it because we have to do it and we enjoy doing it. And who does not want to spend the evening with this bloke over here?
Oh, fucking Rich off, mate. I need to go and have a fucking line or something. Yeah. Reese, where did you taste test the Pink Blood? You don't mind me asking.
May have been Vape GB.
Yeah, well, no Vape GB is stocking it, so that's up Reese's neck of the woods.
It is, yeah.
Then maybe that's where it was. Yeah, I'm absolutely knackered. I'm not even joking. But I'm literally, I'm on my phone. I'm being an ignorant cunt, and I'm going out and taking calls and doing and whatever. But Tash is down the shop sending me pictures and doing and.
But what we can do, guys, is if there is anything that you sort of do want us to talk about Saturday, or you want a discussion tonight, and let us know. Obviously, this is like a spirit. The show wasn't even meant to go down tonight because Paul's absolutely busy. We're both busy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So we thought we'd do a spontaneous show tonight. But if there's anything you want to talk about, let us know. I can go and get some subjects we could talk about. But we wanted to just talk about Expo, the whole hype of Expo, and people who haven't been before. It's got just in my mind. It always, it always comes back into mind when I think Expo. People expecting free shit.
Yeah, I think from any Expo that's ever been, this will be that you'd be the most disappointed. To be honest, I don't think there's going to be a Vape GB popped in today. Didn't stay long, so I couldn't drink them. Get off time driving to Birmingham. The breeze will usually draw down to do 8 hours work, then draw it back.
Yeah, whatever.
No, that's because Reese is a lad. Yeah, I mean the free shit thing. I know there's no throwouts into the crowds. I know you're not allowed to do giveaways from your own stands this year. And that was something that people were trying to be smart with in October. Really, was to try and draw crowds to their own personal stand. They were doing throwouts, lunchtime supervisors. I'm not going to mention no names. the lunchtime supervisors were dashing out all the TPD 10 mils like fucking nobody's business.
Matthew, we will see you Friday.
We've never given away free shit from our stand. We obviously done the giveaway on the stage, which was awesome. Playing expert on the understand. It's cash only or can or pay by card. It's going to be cash only because our card facilities are used in the stores, and obviously one of our stores is extremely local to Expo, so we can't afford to take the card machine out of the shop over the weekend. And the other one has only got facility for the card payments there as well, so unfortunately it's cash only. We said in last week's show, a little bit of preparation for Expo. One is if you paying with cash, and to be honest, most places that you go to, cash is going to be king over card payments because they'll probably do you a little bit of a better deal. We've got some offers that will be announced tomorrow on lots of stuff. But if you're taking cash, you want to use cash as a bartering tool, you need to get your money before you get on the NEC premises because they will charge you to take it out.
It's like £1.90 or £2 or something, isn't it?
It might even be £2.25 or something like that. We can take direct PayPal payments, which obviously we can monitor coming through as you do a direct PayPal payment. That's not a problem. But unfortunately, you can't take card payments.
But a lot of companies don't do card as well, so the majority of them don't do card. And make sure, if you've got a rucksack, as we said last week, make sure you get some water, make sure you take your supplies, make sure you're ready for a fun-filled day with non-stop.
Knackering, comfortable shoes. Don't be fucking thinking you're giving it the big and walking around in your fake Louboutins. You know what I mean? Get yourself some fucking Crocs. That's what they're designed for. A good pair of Crocs on your feet.
I'll ask you to get some tomorrow. Wearing Crocs on the stand, you'll kick me off.
I'll have to change your fucking hoodie. You're scruffy as fuck. Put on your fucking hoodie. Fucking Crocs.
I'll make sure they're black. I'll make sure they match my socks and stuff like green ones or red ones.
They look like the old endless cutout blues, man. Red socks, black Crocs. Fucking jobs. In fact, I might even do some endless pumps, man.
Slippers, endless slippers. So if you get knackered feet, come see Paul. He's got in his boot of his car. He's got a load of slippers for you.
Comfy as fuck, mate. We'll do some AF slippers. Yeah, comfortable shoes. Wherever possible, keep your wallet on an inside pocket or chain it. Use one of them. I hate them chains. I think people who use them chains generally need a poke in the eye. That's just a personal thing because they really grip my shit. But inside pocket, jacket pocket, the places can be packed and certain stands can get packed. Don't put your mod down to try someone else's mod or to taste the juice. Stick it in your pocket because there's some light-fingered, dirty, stinking, horrible tramps wandering about. And for any vendors that are out there, just keep your eyes out, man. People will take the fucking. If you didn't blink for long enough at Expo, some cunt would pinch your eyeball. It's as simple as that.
But it's got. I wouldn't even say it's got worse over time. It's just become more of everyone knows it happens, so people sort of need to be on their shit. Before it'd sort of be like, oh, someone's accidentally picked up a mod or something like that. Before
Mate, when I was younger, I know people that would pay 13 quid to go around there and rob as much shit as they could rob. Because actually, people are busy. Now, I might be sat on my settee knackered, man. I've got fucking 3 eyes on everything to see what's going on. Only so, if someone pinches off me and I catch them, I will go onto live feed and I will chin you. There's no fucking 2 ways about it. Someone will be getting slapped with a quad stack dirty. Only because we give away a lot of shit, we give away a lot of things to a lot of people, and actually to think someone was robbing off me is doing my head in, so I would have to just take to with violence. But that says even when I'm walking around, I'm still watching other people, man. You see some shifty people at some stands with the fucking free shit carrier bag that they've got armed up with, ready to pilfer and that. So anyone that's going, don't put your bags down. Fucking, if possible, get yourself a fucking rucksack so you can have it on your back and do what you've got to do. Make sure you're zipping the cunt up as well. Just be vigilant because it's a busy place. Smart tried to nick more mods when we stopped to see the Prince tag. Tank. I'll get it recorded straight on Worldstar. What do you think of the heat not burn about trying? It's all DNC because it's technically smoking, so surely it shouldn't be allowed. Why shouldn't it be allowed, Macca?
Yeah, there's a catch-22 on this situation, isn't there? Do you know what I
On
mean?
what? What's he saying?
He's saying that because it's basically the ICOS, and he's saying should they be able to use the ICOS in the NEC because they're technical smoking.
My honest opinion is, look, ICOS should not be at the vape show. But I'm not even going to go down that road because I'll end up fighting with some ICOS men on Friday when they go, "You the fat cunt off the live feed that said our products is shit." I didn't actually say that, but I just did say. I don't think Pete not burn products should be part of a vaping expo. I just don't, because you don't fit in there. That's a bit like fucking, I don't know. I was going to come up with a really stupid analogy then.
I think it's down to personal opinion, and at the end of the day,
you know what? My honest opinion on ICOS is there's a place for it.
Yeah.
In the world, I don't think there's a place for it in the vape.
100%.
And if there's people out there that are struggling to give up cigarettes that can't vape, some people might be PG intolerant, they might be VG intolerant. There's a million reasons why someone couldn't vape, have tried vaping, keep falling over on the vape. ICOS is, I don't understand the ins and outs of an ICOS. I understand how it works. I understand what they do. I've tried an ICOS. For me personally, it wasn't like smoking a cigarette, and it tasted very much like when I was a teenager. And my mum used to smoke about 40 fags a day, but she always used to leave proper long dog ends. So when our mum fucked off to bed, we used to go through the raw family ashtray, which we had, and fucking dip out the big long fucking fag ends and then light them up and sit down and do fucking ash all around our lips and fingers and everything. To me, the ICOS tasted like a relit cigarette. That's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah.
And I tried one because my pal had one, and he had one because he tried vaping and couldn't quit and felt that this was a better alternative to cigarettes. Now, from what I understand from her, they are a better alternative to cigarettes, but I don't believe they've got a place at a vaping expo. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, I would never decry anyone using one. I'd never sell it in my shop. For the same reason I don't sell CBD oil. I sell CBD liquid because you can stick it in a vape pen and vape it, but I don't sell the oil because it can't be vaped. And we're a vape shop. We're not. If we're going to start putting CBD oil in there, I might as well get fucking lube in there and fucking fags. We'll just have a fag cabinet in there. You know what I mean? It's like we're a vape shop. We're not selling mobile phone cases. We're not doing laptop repairs. We're not doing this, that, and the other. We're selling vape products, and on that basis, if it's not a vaping product, it doesn't go into our store. That said, if I had a news agent, I'd have no qualms about putting an ICOS in there because there's a market for it, and is it safer than fags? From my understanding, is yes, it is. Although I've not really took the time to look into it deeply. It probably will get some people off the cigarettes. However, I believe that they're. I mean, what I don't like about the ICOS, I don't like the way it's marketed. It's very much. It's put under a big tobacco product that will cost you as much as smoking, and they're trying to attach the 95% safer than cigarette thing to it, which is absolute bollocks. And it's going to cost you as much as smoking fags, in essence. You're going to go through them fucking cartridges fast. And the reality is, you buy 20 fags in the morning, if you smoke 20 fags a day, you start getting towards tea time and you've got 7 fags left, you'll fucking pace yourself and you know that that's your quota for the day. When you've got these cartridges and you're sticking them in and that thing's in your hand all day long, you wait until you're spending 3 times what you was on fags on that.
Yeah.
And I know that when I vaped originally, which is 7 years ago, which was the year before we actually started the company because I fell off the wagon and smoked again. I used to smoke about 40 fags a day, always been a heavy smoker. Went on to an electric cigarette, done that for 11 months. It was in my hand non-stop. I had spare batteries, I had spare cartridges. I fucking went out the house loaded up with shit. And when it broke and I decided to just smoke again, I went up to 60 a day because actually every time I put a fag out, I was a bit like, oh, where's my vape? I'm not vaping anymore. I'll have another fucking fag. And it was worse. And I know now if I was to smoke full time, I would 100% smoke more cigarettes than I ever smoked before because my vape is always in my hand doing what it does. That's what it's there for. So,
yeah, I just think regarding it being an expo, I'm very much on your side of it. I think if people don't go to it, then they ain't gonna go again. I think if people don't go up there and try it, and people don't sort of be intrigued by it, because I know there's going to be people who are intrigued by it, who want to go see it. Well, my advice is, if you don't like it, don't go to it, because if nobody goes to it, they're not going to think it's viable to ever go again. So my personal opinion is, it's exactly the same as Paul's. They shouldn't be there, but there is a market for it somewhere. Maybe not with us, but if people are going up to the stand and they see it as viable as people going up to stand asking questions, you know, trying the device, then they're going to carry on going to these shows. As long as they're allowed, they're going to carry on going to these shows. And this is no offense to anybody that runs shows or whatnot, and Paul saying they shouldn't be there, and I agree. But that's their show. They do as was pleased with their show. If people say they don't want to see it there, I'm sure for a fact over a while they're going to realise people don't want to see it, and they'll stop going. So just don't try it. Don't go over. Don't give them any attention. Enjoy your weekend and don't worry about it. The more you scream about it at Expo, take pictures of it, put it on Instagram and stuff like that, the more exposure they're getting. So if you want to take pictures of vape stands and put it on Instagram, make sure you come see us at A15, because that would be a lot better than putting an IQOS on Instagram.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, like, for everyone that puts a post up saying, fuck IQOS, there's probably 10 people going, what's an IQOS? Fucking Google.
Or using a blue.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got an issue with blue, again, if I'm being honest, just on the basis that regardless of whether it's big tobacco or whether it isn't, if they're prepared to put the money where their mouth is and invest into the product, pretty much like Philip Morris, his shares are tumbling big time in the tobacco company, big time, but he's made a decision to go over to electronic cigarettes. And whether that's good, bad, or indifferent from anyone else's point of view, my personal point of view is he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's prepared to go into the industry. He will develop vaping products that other people won't, because he's coming to it with fresh eyes, he's coming to it with deep pockets, and he's coming into the vaping market as a vape supplier. On that basis, 100%, I haven't got an issue with Philip Morris. The people that are going, his shares are tumbling. When you've got fucking X billion pounds and you lose 200, who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? He doesn't give a fuck about money. If he did, he'd sell fucking cigarettes for the rest of his life. And actually, as far as I know, they're not making tobacco products full stop after 2020. And that's a big decision to take when they're turning over multi-billion pounds worth of dough.
That is the huge decision to make.
So if they're prepared to go into this market and they will put vast amounts of money in, yes, they'll try and control the market. Yes, ultimately they probably will end up controlling the market, because it's going to take a strong-willed person to turn down an offer that is twice, 3, 4, 5 times the value of your company, to say, no, I'm all about Detroit. Philip Morris, if you're watching my live feed, mate, you fucking speak to me about numbers and I'll sell you the fucking and I'll go and spend some of it on an IQOS. No, I mean, on a serious note, I think if big tobacco are coming into the vaping market selling vape products, vape liquids, vape, I'm all for that, actually. They're doing what they're doing. I just feel IQOS are trying to sneak into the market and selling something that it's not.
I think what people are forgetting, and this is a massive thing for me, is if people, the normal smoker, sees these vaping products like the blue, like vaping products that Philip Morris is going to bring out, the end run, what's going to happen to these people is they're going to see these products and they're going to end up coming to people like us when they've advanced.
Yep.
So what they're necessarily doing, Philip Morris is doing, is getting all these smokers to stop smoking, go to vaping, and then they're realizing, oh, actually, there's better stuff out there. And then they end up finding us. They end up finding other companies out there, and they advance as vapors. So then we're actually, rather than turning over 100 million vapors a year, 200 million vapors a year, whatever, 200,000 vapors a year, we're turning it over millions of people, because it's actually in the mainframe of society rather than just being in this niche market of vaping, where the stat from 5.5 years ago were 2.5 million vapors.
I think you know what? I think there's a lot of people on Facebook, social media, that covers all the platforms, which covers all the idiots. Go on, like, social media vapors are the be all and end all of our industry, and actually they're fucking not. They're a tiny percentage of the market, and on that basis too, if you can, like people last week or the week before, I can't believe that the fucking lunchtime supervisors are selling their products in Asda. Let the dog out for a time. I can't believe the lunchtime supervisors are selling their products in Asda. Who gives a fuck, man? They're making big dough. And there's so many people now that I see going, yeah, their liquids is shit anyway. Who 2 years ago was going, bro, did you try fucking lemon tart at Expo? Next level, man. It's next level. It's fucking game changer. That fucking word that drives me mad. And then all of a sudden, because they've put it into 500 stores nationwide, mainstream supermarket, fucking sellouts. What? How they sold their product is what they started making the fucking product for in the first place. And
it's a great move on the half of getting.
That's where I was trying to think where I was going. You think about how many people go into the news agents every day and buy their cigarettes who never step foot inside our vape shop. The people that go to Asda and buy their cigarettes daily, weekly, monthly, never step foot inside our vape shop. Well, we'll try vaping because it's so mainstream. And ultimately, a percentage of them people will progress. Simple as that. And then the downside to the lunchtime supervisors being available in Asda is only for the shopkeepers that are selling that type of product. But the reality is that is the way that this market's going to go. Do I think Asda will ever sell mech mods? Not in a million years. I can see them stocking Build and Wear as a range. Maisie, get out now, get out. I'm just going to bash the dog. Maisie, get on your bed. Maisie, go on. I'll put her out, Tom, and just lock the door and put her out. And she'll jump through the door and we'll have to fucking let her back in. All these people that post stuff on Facebook going, oh, it's a fluffy dog. Fuck the dog. I just think that it will go mainstream. We're never going to stop it going mainstream. On that basis, there's going to be a much bigger number of people converting from tobacco to vaping. We will get a fallout of that in our stores of whatever percentage it is.
Yeah, it's a huge. It can possibly be absolute. The word, sorry to use the word or the phrase, game changing, but it can be for, you know, the independent companies, because they are putting that information out there to the general public. I don't know one company in the vaping industry at the moment in time that has the money to put it out to the main public domain like PMI does, like Philip Morris does. Unless we all collectively go, like, let's get this information out to the public, let's get them all onto vaping. Even if it's little old Mary, 70-year-old, goes to get a fags and she sees a vaping product in Tesco's and just sort of asks her grandkids or whatever, what's this, what's that, and gets the information, it gets out to the general public. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. And it can and probably will benefit us, because at the end of the day, as a vapor, we all know, especially watching this, not everybody watches live feeds, not everybody's on Facebook. If it gets into the public domain and everyone starts advancing as a vapor and learning these things and learning about new products, the only people it's going to benefit is all of us, because we're all learning that. Though everyone's getting the information, general public. So they're going to buy the crappiest CE4 setup that we've all used. We know about these CE4s, and they're going to advance onto vaping, onto proper gear. So all it can do is be a good thing. If you look at it in that light, rather than a negative light, look at it as a positive of vaping move forward and an industry moving forward. Because let's be realistic, we are still a baby industry. We've probably been in the mainframe for 4 years, 5 years, that's it. Since we've been in the game, it's got popular and people have learned about it. The only way vaping can go is up, and that is a positive. So you need to sort of put this idea of big tobacco, negative. Well, all they're doing is promoting product that people are going to then learn about other product. So people need to think about it more as a positive thing, but they don't have a place, especially IQOS, in the vaping community. But if they start releasing, as Paul says, vape products, vape juice, then people start learning, we can only benefit from it. And it's that simple. Stop being negative about the situation and try to be more positive to see how the industry is going to grow. I don't know. You said you were happy to last 3 years. You've been 5 years. You know what I mean? The only way that the industry can boom and grow is by stuff like that, getting out to the mainstream. And, you know, I want to turn around in 10 years' time and go, geez, we only thought it was going to last 3 years as a boom. Just something that boomed. And it's still here. It's still pumping. It's now there, and people can access it a lot more rather than it just being this niche Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, Neil's just made a point there. The thing is, how many of us started using an ego pen because we kept walking past the VLP stand or saw them in petrol stations and now on mechs or high-powered devices.
Exactly.
I seen my first ever electronic cigarette at Maryhill Shopping Centre on not a VLP stand, but on a...
Did we sit?
What was the other concert were everywhere, like shit in a fan factory, weren't they? just the
cigarette stuff on it,
type things. But I'd seen it numerous times, and I'd see people around them, and I looked at the price of the kit, and I went, "Fuck that!" Everything that I get deal with now on a daily basis in the shops is you ain't fucking paying that, but I'm going to keep paying my fucking £4 for the fags, or whatever it was at the time for a box of fags. I seen fags the other day. I went to the services with my MD, and we went to the shop, and £12.50 something for a box of silk cuts, man. Fucking robbing bastards. But I seen them there, and then when I decided I was going to use electronic cigarette, me and Tasha would go into Costco in the morning, which is one side of town, and then we were going to go to Merrill in the afternoon. I said, when I get to Merrill this afternoon, I'm definitely buying one of them electronic cigarettes. I'm going to try it and see how I get on with it. Walked into Costco, and they'd just launched the Vape stick, which was the equivalent, and I bought a Vape stick only because I couldn't be asked to drive to fucking Merrill for this thing. And I used a Vape stick for 11 months, fell off the wagon, started on an ego pen. We now produce mods, wire, and liquid. So that's in essence my story. But if I'd not have seen them electronic cigarette stands in the likes of the Merrill Shopping Centre, I didn't know where to go to get an electronic cigarette from. And even now, I get people coming in our shop, and it's like they're walking into a sex shop that sells fucking fists that are specifically designed to shove up 92-year-old women. And it, like, they sneak in, they walk past, and they do a quick fucking dip in the door like they're going into a fucking XXX shop. And even now, after all this time, there's still a stigma with vaping that shouldn't be there. And because it's in the likes of Asda, because you can buy it from art. And I never ever understood the Argus. Argus is selling vape goods. Who's going to show them how to use it? The same person that shows them when they buy it off my website. No concept. You get on with it. And I never understood that whole shitstorm about Argus. It's going to become a mainstream thing. I believe, and I think, again, I said it on live feed before, that big tobacco will control this industry without a doubt within 5 years. That's my prediction. However, there still will be niche vaping shops that want to sell metal mods, want to sell wire, want to sell different liquids, homebrew. Because I can't ever imagine going into Asda and buying a bottle of VG and some PG and some nick shots and some concentrates. I'd imagine they will sell a cotton at some point. I just think that they will. I don't think they're going to sell met mods.
Do you think it'll be any time soon, though? Do you think it'll be a few years, or do you think it'll be?
I think within 12 months you'll be able to get to the likes of Astra and buy some baking cotton or some Get to Fluff that's dropping real shit. Because why wouldn't they? It doesn't make sense not to. They sell tips for rolling tobacco. It's the same. Like, it's just an ancillary part of the vape. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I can see them selling accessories. There's no reason why Asda wouldn't sell a fucking Nyquil battery charger. They might not sell the batteries, but they might sell the chargers.
They sell regular batteries, don't they? So they might even sell batteries.
That's just the way I think it's going to go. I can't ever imagine fucking Phyllis at Asda. Come here, bud, pass us your dripper. Fucking stick a fucking 0.07 fucking fuse clapped and 990 building coin in there. But I do see them selling accessories for vaping, whether that be coils for smoke tanks, because there's such a market for it. It's as simple as that. And at the end of the day, as that sell meat, they're not a butcher's. They've got a butcher's within the shop. Yeah. They've got a fucking fishmongers within the shop. They've got a bakery within the shop. I'm not giving them more ideas. These people are stupid. They're only multi-billion-pound businesses, and it's the way that it will go. All I can do is either embrace it or sell my business to Philip Morris.
Yeah. And
there's going to be very few people that say, I'm not selling, I've got too many morals.
And then when they work.
If I sold my business tomorrow, it doesn't mean I'm a sellout. It means that I'm still vaping, but I've just got X million pounds in my bank. More than what I've got now.
And what's to stop you opening up Paul's Vape shop?
No, I mean, 100% there'd be some sort of clause to say that I'd have to open it in my son's name and just consult from the back. I'm willing to do this, mate.
In the back where you count in your meals. I do see it, and I can see it. I just think if we embrace it of a way where this side of market of it being very niche, because as you say, there's certain things they're not going to let you vape in Asda. It sells food, so they're not going to let you walk around Asda vaping, are they? That's the first thing. They're not going to open a pop-up shop in the middle of Asda and go, "Oh, you vape gear here, you can vape." They're not going to allow that. So it's going to be very sort of minimal stuff that you can literally just pick off the shelf and you don't need to know shit about. So the reason I do see them being still that niche market that they probably not even interested in, to be particularly quite honest. They're interested in the smokers rather than the vapors. We've already converted millions and millions of people.
Yeah, and again, I said it to you a few weeks ago, and I've not even really thought about it. So I was talking to you and talking as I was thinking. I didn't understand for a long, long time why Big Tobacco hadn't got involved in this industry, and I always thought they'd missed a trick, and then I thought they're going to come and storming hard. But actually, in hindsight, I think they're clever enough people with enough money around them to have the right people around them for some clever cunt to say. And I hadn't thought in this way, shape, or form until about 3 weeks ago on one of the Endless Banter lives. If I was in a position, even now, we've got vaping. If something come out tomorrow called fucking tramping, and that was the equivalent of vaping, but it was 99.9% safer than vaping, I don't think I'd jump on that straight away. And it's probably not the same because vaping was such a massive turn away from tobacco. But I honestly believe that somebody somewhere with a good head on their shoulders says, listen, it's a growing industry, it's growing at a rate and that. However, the cunts that are growing it still don't know about it themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know where it's going, they don't know where it started, they don't know how it's going to progress. Give them 5 or 6 years, let them fucking iron it out, let them fucking, we'll take out the peaks and troughs, and once it's stabilised out, bam, we'll fucking get it running. And that's what they've done.
Yeah.
They've used us as guinea pigs to convert the people, to prove the points, to create all these fucking niche businesses, family-owned businesses, hobbies, people becoming, there's people in this industry that have become millionaires, not overnight, but certainly in very short periods of time, and they haven't got the brains they were born with because we've developed that. Yeah. I said we then, like I'm one of them idiots that become a millionaire. I'm not a fucking millionaire. I think it's called a billionaire anyway. But I mean, there's people that's made a lot of money out of this. However, for whatever we've made between us in the UK, and it amounts to probably hundreds of millions of pounds in 5 years, easily.
Yeah.
It's still nothing compared to the turnover of the 256 billion pound in tobacco annually. So on that basis, why fucking stress about it? Why get involved? It's like it's fuck all to them at this minute in time. Yeah, it still is. And there's people going, they're jumping on it now because of the money that's involved. It's still not worth as much as an industry. I think when I went on a seminar before, they were saying it was something like a 20% conversion rate in pounds. So if every person that smoked vaped, for argument's sake, it'd be a 50 billion pound revenue against 250 billion of a smoker. So it's still not particularly in their interest financially to capture the vaping market and rid every person of smoking.
Yeah.
One of my biggest concerns was, and still is that if I had a product that made me a multi-billionaire, and something came into that market that potentially, not so much the money they were making, but the money that they were making me lose was an issue, and I could buy that whole industry up for 500 billion, which is 2 years worth of money, and then wipe it out in a fucking heartbeat, and every cunt who vapes goes, I'm back on the fags, and fuck me, I used to smoke 20, now I'm smoking 60. All them cunts at the top of the tree in the tobacco place, we go, we fucking mud them pack a cunt right off.
Yeah.
That's my concern, is that once Big Tobacco get control of it, they will either match it price for price with cigarettes. And I can still say now, I probably shouldn't say I'm a fucking retailer, a manufacturer, and all that thing, and I'm a pillar of the vaping community, I like to think. If vaping cost me as much as smoking cigarettes, I'd probably go back to smoking, because I never want to give up vaping, smoking personally, because of my health.
Yeah.
On the basis that something's going to fucking kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
So if my comparable spend week in, week out was different, I'd stay with the vaping. If it was comparable, I'd probably smoke, because it's just easier. That says pod systems for me are the way forward. Most vape shops don't even do that. Someone in their old how to build a set of stagger Claptons.
Hey, I'm home.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah.
Seen plenty of dickheads vaping now, so yeah, that's the only way to describe them, is dickheads.
You know what, Bessie? I can honestly say the added health benefits when I used to be 25 stone is neither here nor there, because I could give up smoking, not die of cancer, and still have a fucking heart attack. I'm being honest with what my mantra was, and that's what it was. I never once walked into Tasha and said, "That's it now. I'm going on a health drive. I'm giving up cigarettes." I said, "That's it, man. We need to save some fucking dough. I'm going to try and get off the fags." And that's the truth of it. And when I started, even now, everyone knows that is my go-to vapor. It's $34.99. This fucking paint's off it. It's battered. It's fucked. It still works. The battery still holds its charge every single day. And I use less than 2 10ml bottles a week. And I've changed my coil. I've gone back to using Heisenberg. Vampire Vape, stop putting colour in your liquids, you bunch of dickheads. So my coils are probably lasting me now between 2 and 3 weeks. With shady vaping's menthol, because it's such a superior, clean, crisp, fucking colour-free liquid. My coils literally last me 4 to 6 weeks, depending. So I am spending, if I was buying it retail, I'm spending £8 a week on 2 bottles of liquid. So that's 8, 16, 24, £32 a month. If I put 2 coils in at £3 a coil, and I don't think I think they're $2.50. I'm spending, say, £40 a month on my vape. I used to smoke 60 cigarettes a day when cigarettes were £7 a packet. That was my cigarettes. Tash was smoking 20 a day, so I was buying 80 cigarettes a day. We were spending more a month on cigarettes than what it cost us to rent the first shop monthly, which is just fucking crazy figures. So on that basis, anyone that goes, your vaping's way more expensive than smoking, it's because you're not using a device to replace your cigarettes. You're trying to blow a cloud bigger than your pal Johnny because you think you're bad. That's the absolute truth, because you become a hobbyist vapor. I would suggest that there's lots of people that are using sub-ohm that are still smoking. We've had this argument before, or this debate before. There's obviously, like myself, I dual use, so I'll use a mouth-long and I'll use sub-ohm. I use sub-ohm just out of pure enjoyment of tasting liquids.
Yeah.
I use my mouth-long to stop me smoking cigarettes. That's still the case now, 6 years on. If I went out tomorrow on an 8-hour journey and I'd forgot my vape and someone threw a packet of fags on my driver's seat, I'd smoke the fucking fags. That is where I'm at. That's where I've always been. I'm a very habitual person. Anything I do to excess. So I can't smoke 3 fags a day, and if I could, I'd still smoke 3 fags a day now because I'd enjoy them. I'm a bit Phil Mitchell, all or fuck all. That's me. So that is my personal take on cigarettes. In all seriousness, how much of an offer?
I don't think got enough money for it.
Your business, big tobacco. I don't know more, but I know that if the price is right, I would consider it. Chris, we started this business with 500 quid. And the business where we are standing currently grew solely from that £500. We never ever put 1 pence more in than that first 500 quid. I know what our shops do annually. I know what Endless does annually. I would want several million quid for the business, and I'd sell it in a heartbeat. And I'd sell it in a heartbeat because, as much as I'm still passionate about vaping, I don't feel the same passion about the industry. Maybe the people in the industry, maybe the way it's become so fucking backbitey, shit stirry, backstabbing, and all that sort of shit.
Egos.
I don't know what it is, mate. I don't even know. I can't even really put my finger on it. If someone asked me what we'd have to change in the industry to make it right, I wouldn't know what that answer is. But certainly, without a doubt, I'd sell up tomorrow in a heartbeat, because that'd be the right decision for me and my family. And if people said I was a sellout, you'd have to fucking shout it loud, because I'd be up in my helicopter, mate. So I mean, yeah, if I would be considered a sellout, so be it. At the end of the day, we started the business to make some money. I've been fortunate enough that I've been involved in this, one of the first sort of bigger names in the UK to be out there doing what we do, and we grew a business that's been absolutely fantastic to us. And my passion for what we do has never ever changed. My passion about what we're surrounded by has changed massively in the last 2 years. And if I didn't have the passion, I wouldn't bother releasing new endless mods and looking at the wire and looking at the liquid. Yes, we're making money off it. Is it done purely for money? Absolutely 100% not. And me and Chris had a conversation the week about money. There's weeks where I don't even know what our shops have taken, and I'm not chasing people on what dough have we got, what dough have we got. So if you got fucking 6 million in the bank, you don't need to money. No, but I mean, it's not a driver of mine. It's never been a driver of mine.
Yeah, the industry in itself, even probably from a lot of retailers, probably everybody has seen the difference in, because there is a saturation in the market. Every market is saturated, but this one is very, very, very much saturated to what it was 2-3 years ago. And maybe that is the difference. I think, there is a lot more. Before, we could literally walk around and you could speak to people you're not spoken to an agent, it'd be like 10 people. Now it's 10 million people you're not spoken to. There's so many people, and there's a lot more people into this industry. And I've said this, and this is one of the biggest things for me, is there's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. And that is, they're dead honest about it. We're trying to make products and move the industry forward in everything we can, by design, by even towards even everybody's looking at sort of batteries and how we can improve the industry in that sort of light. I think a lot of people in this industry now are literally there just to jump in, get the cash, jump back out. There's not, I probably could count on my hand how many original people like Paul, as I've been working with Paul for now just over a year, that's been in the industry at the length of time as I've been in the industry. And it's we've seen so many new faces. We've lost a lot of faces and we've gained a lot of faces. Maybe that's the change in the industry. That's different, because there is a lot more people just in it without the sort of loyalty to the industry and everything like that. And as Paul says, I can honestly admit that sometimes my drive does go for it because of something in the industry that just isn't the same as before. But then when you come to like expos and everybody's around you having your fun, you get back up and you get that hype and you get that feeling, that vibe. And I think that vibe is very much lost.
You know what it reminds me of? I've been in management for 24 years. And at our peak in the factories, we had 3 factories, 160 employees. There was a whole tier of management, which fortunately I'd been at the top end of for a long time. And I say fortunately just because it meant I had enough clout to try and change things that affected me when I was down on the shop floor. And expos for me remind me of the whole, we're going on a team building exercise next week with the factory. And you go away and there's directors there, and there's managers there, and there's supervisors there, and there's some shop floor people there. And it's the first time the shop floor man gets to speak to one of the big gaffers. And for the first 2 weeks after you get back off the course, the managing director's walking, go, "Morning, Tom." You go, "Morning, boss." And after 2 weeks, he's like, "What the fucking hell are you doing?" And everything's back to fucking normal. And it's just, we get to these expos now, and everyone's handshaking and hugging, and there's people, two-faced motherfuckers coming up to me who I no doubt like me, going, "Fucking hell, Paul, how are you, mate?" And I want to poke you in the fucking eyes. And then after expo, fuck all. Not a fucking thing.
Yeah, the vibe dies down.
It's just gone again, and it's just like, it's all done for kippers and curtains. And actually, I would honestly, even someone that I've worked with for the last 5 years who's decided I'm an arsehole, walk past me, even if they just go, "All right, mate," and fucking walk past, and I'll be a bit like, "Oh, what's called up his arse and died." I've got more respect for that than someone who comes over and shakes my hand and, "Oh yeah, mate, your new mod looks sick." And I know the same for my Pat, as if he's still making that shit out of China. And it does my fucking head in, because there's no need for it. Just don't speak to someone that you don't like. It's not a problem. We're all grown adults. I ain't about fighting any cunt, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to go, "Oh, you fell out a minute. Do you want to let's go on main stage and have a fucking punch up?" I'm not about that, you know what I mean? I just don't get the whole two-faced thing. And money has turned some top people into top cunts.
Yeah.
The way they conduct themselves, the way they conduct their business, the way that they screw people over, fuck people over to make an extra quid. doesn't sit right with me, and it's just not the way I conduct myself. But everyone's different, I guess. Let that fucking dog in on before I pull its fucking head off. What did I miss? Literally got a phone call as I was talking.
What's that? What? So Vape Meet the other day, walked in, bought a new iJoy mod, set it up, chucked a load of cards out, and went outside for a fag. I couldn't believe it.
It happened.
Mate, we have people putting their fag out outside the shop and coming and going, 3 tobaccos, please, mate. Make sure you take 18 and keep me off the face. What? Just watched you put the fucking fag out, mate. Well, come in with half of the come behind his ear. Oh, mate, you got some mental, please. It's the only one that stops me smoking. Chris, what I said was, if it's answer to your question, is absolutely, I would sell my business tomorrow for the right amount of money. What that amount of money would have to be would be several million, edging towards 5, 6,
10.
No, I mean, you know what? If someone phoned me up tomorrow, it would be 10 million. What was that then?
Fix me and fix the chairs on.
I felt like someone could fucking smack me in the back of the head. If someone phoned me up tomorrow and says, I've got 5 million, you might want to buy the whole lot, lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels. I'd be out of there in a fucking heartbeat.
Exactly what Reece is saying. Business is business. And I wouldn't
But I
surprise
can
me.
honestly say, 5 years ago, when I had the same conversation with Tasha, I said I'd never sell. And it weren't because I'd never sell because I was morally whole. I'd never sell because I enjoyed what I'd done so much, and I enjoyed everything around us, and I enjoyed the fact that me and friends that I'd made through this industry were growing together. As it's become more poisonous, more and more, I would.
I think that's the perfect word. I honestly think that's the perfect word for it. I just think it's just saturated a bit.
Chris says if the business came in big time, you'd be lucky to get 6 quid.
Thanks, appreciate that. Do appreciate that a lot, Chris. Thank you. That is generally really nice of you, because I thought you'd have said about 6 pence.
Yeah.
But I just think, me personally, and just the way we've all seen this industry grow and how it's gone, and I just feel that it's still got so much to give. And if we get around, well, what we've been trying to fight for the last 2 years, I think we're going to succeed. And you know, at the end of the day, I can see something special.
That's all I'm showing you.
I can see something in there.
Wait for Expo October 2018. Something special in there, mate. Very special.
It's a really, really tough debate, is that, because going from all the things that we've said, sort of just flaming from big tobacco and sort of the way we feel about the industry and the way the industry's going, it's a debate that we can debate and debate and debate and debate until the time comes where stuff actually starts changing. I don't think we're ever going to know what the hell's going to happen.
The trouble is, most people that sit around going, how the fuck can we change this industry? They're the constantly changing. Do you know what I mean? They talk such a good fight, but in reality, they're fingering people daily just to try and get their fucking coffers pot bigger. Sorry, I was just... They're just trying to get their coffers pot bigger. And like I says, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I got more satisfaction out of going on holiday and seeing the man at the circus vaping on an endless mod at the interval than I ever have looking at what the business has done in a month or a year or in the last 5 years. And our turnover in the last 5 years runs into millions of pounds. It does. But walking into another person's vape shop, random, and them stocking endless mods is something pretty special. Going to the circus and going out for a vape at the interval and the bloke across the way was blowing clouds on an endless mod feels pretty special.
Apparel.
Walking into a vape meet and someone walking in an endless hoodie or an endless hat that I know for a fact they've bought and paid for is a special feeling. Going onto a fucking thread that I've been tagged in on Facebook and someone saying, where can I get such and such from? Try Shady Vaping. The fact that we're even out there on that level that we get recommended, for me, they're the things that have continued to make me tick over and over and over and over and over again. Never the money. I've never once gone fucking up, because if I did, mate, we were in a position 4 years ago to flood the West Midlands with shops. Financially, I could have done it. I didn't need the backing off no one else. Everything we've done off ourselves. The money that we'd amassed could have opened 25 retail stores, because at the time I could have stocked them for £7 with ego pens and liquid. That's the truth of it. It was never about that, actually. I was happy with the one shop. And we bought Dudley just to cover a different area. Simple as that.
It's a big debate, and only time's going to tell, really, isn't it, on that one? It really is time's going to tell. You know, we can go on for hours and hours and hours on about it, and I think what you're saying is spot on. But until that day comes and we realise what's going on, I think, especially if you're saying about sort of big tobacco coming in and sweeping us off our feet, until that day turns and Tasha phones you up and says, "Come on from work, we've got a check on table." I don't think we're ever going to know sort of the plan of what we could say the powers that be. But to me personally, I don't know about yourself, but it's kind of not scary and not intimidating, but I don't know what it's going to do for your average Joe vapor. If sort of that situation would happen where they would take over the sort of industry and wipe out all the niche sort of market and sort of take that over, I do honestly think that the niche market will stay. But if they were to come and swipe it all out, I just don't see how technically vaping would still be a thing.
Just on the basis that there's always going to be someone that does what I done 5-6 years ago and say, hang on, they're not catering for that market. I'll bring that shit in from China myself, or I'll get that shit in from the Philippines myself, or I'll get that shit in from America myself, and we'll start selling it. There'll always be vape shop. I'm not suggesting for a minute that big tobacco will own this industry lock, stock and two smoking barrels. However, I do think they control 90% of the market, but they'll control the 90% of the market they want to control, which is the smoker. They're not really interested in the hobby vapor. They're interested in someone who can go into a shop, buy a pod system, 2 packets of pods, a spare battery. When it breaks, they know where they're going to get it. They buy another one, and they keep buying the pods, and they keep buying the batteries, and they keep buying the pods, and they keep buying the batteries. That is the vapor that they want.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if pod systems worked, I had a pod system sent to me from China. Absolutely wicked pod system, to be honest. But the little bastard sent me 50 milligram Nixups, and it blew me fucking tits off, mate. I was fucking whitey like a motherfucker in the house the other night. And it was sent to me weeks and weeks and weeks ago. And I said to Tash, "This couldn't say he sent me these samples. I've got them upstairs." All right, enough. I'll go and get it for you. I didn't even look at the milligram because I'm assuming these fucking things are TPD compliant. Yeah. So I put the pod in. I was like, tobacco liquid as well. It's an American tobacco liquid, but they're being manufactured through China.
Right. And
I was like, that is fucking nice, that is, man. That's nice, that is. After about fucking 10 drags, I was like fucking Stephen Hawkins, man. What the fuck? And then I looked, I was like, 50 milligram, you little prick. I messaged him straight away on Facebook, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing, you cunt? And he was like, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Paul, we send you 20 milligram next time." You fucking do that, you cunt. But it's a 350 mAh battery. I'm going to have to carry a fucking dozen of them cunts around all day, every day.
That's 20 quid a pot.
On that basis, I love pod systems. Pod systems are the perfect converter from cigarettes to vaping, in my opinion. When that's empty, mate, pull it off. Fuck that bit in the bin. Bang that bit back in.
Off you go.
Off you go. Knock yourself out. Good to go. It's as easy as picking a cigarette up out of a box.
Do you think anybody ballsy enough to take it on, though? As in take on tobacco?
Me,
they try to take
the time draw. No, I mean, I don't even think it's about taking them on. I think it's about having the balls to sell. I mean, like I said last week, one of the concerns I've got with big tobacco coming in is that they will start to force unnecessary regulation on the industry, which means I might not be able to afford to comply. On that basis, with the best will in the world, even if I'm going, you know what, actually, I'm not selling. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy with what the business is doing. Tasha wants the kettle.
I really want to
our camera stand for tonight's live feed is the kettle. So,
you want the toaster instead?
Unless you can make a coffee with the toaster.
Don't Tasha's making us a newsstand out of 2 cans and some money boxes. This is like technical shizzle right there.
That's better than the kettle, isn't it?
That's not actually that bad.
Maybe leave it back.
Move it back a little bit. There you go, that's perfect. Look.
So, thank
Look
you.
at
Does
that.
anyone want coffee?
I'd love a coffee, please, back. I was going to ask you when you come in, but I knew that we were using the fucking receptacle. Yeah, my concern with big tobacco coming in is not that people won't have. It's not about having the balls to stand up to them. It's about having the balls to say, you know, I'm happy with what my business is doing. I'm not going to sell. Even if some companies might be only turning over £200,000 a year, and I know that I don't mean that in a flippant way. But actually, by the time you paid your staff, paid your shop, paid your stock, you've paid your core price tax and everything, you might walk away with £60,000 or £70,000.
Yeah.
Which is still a good earning by comparison of national minimum wage, etc., etc. However, the graft you've got to put in to run that business 7 days a week to make £70,000, £80,000 is a lot of graft. So I'm not decrying that. But some people might say, actually, fuck the tobacco, they're offering me £500,000 for argument's sake. I'm going to make that in 6 years, and I've still got another 20 years to go in my life. I'm just going to plod on with what I'm doing. I've got a nice standard of living, blah, 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 blah. But then when big tobacco suddenly handing a document to the government that's costing £5 billion to put together saying, oh my God, these people are making liquids plus or minus 3%, and we're making it plus or minus 0.0001%.
Yeah.
They must put a fucking one lab in and £70 million or whatever the fucking costs are. I can't afford to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I might as well sell to the cunts and get some money as I have nothing. So that's my concern with big tobacco, is that they will ultimately start fucking people over. Look, Tom's moved away, or the camera settings are wrong.
Me.
Tom keeps moving away from me. Now he's moving over there. That's what I was looking at, the Nick salt.
That's what I'm like now.
I think pods will only work for CBD. Elaborate on that though, Rich. What do you mean by that? Because I think pods work exceptionally well for.
I think what Reese is saying on the CBD side of it is it's pick up, few tokes, CBD back down. It's sort of a thing that you wouldn't use as an all-day device, as we said about the 350 mile battery. Or we're going to be carrying about.
I used the bow as an all-day device for a long time. I bought the charging box for it, so it was like carrying a little mud round.
I think that's
actually, I used it. The downside to it for me, battery technology coming tomorrow, where something 10ml bottle size could be a 3,000 mile battery, and something half of that size could be a 1,500 mile battery. I'd be on it.
If you could have a pod system that would take.
If I knew I could get up in the morning with the pod system and my battery was going to see me through at least till I got in from work, I'd take it. And I'd use it because it's clean and it's easy.
That's a new endless product right there.
That's
a new endless product right there.
What, new battery technology. I need to fucking email Philip Morris and say, listen, mate, we can fucking smash this market to pieces, but what you need to do is just pour me about fucking 40 mil.
I'm going to ask you this question. Would Endless ever make a regulated device?
The reason why we've never made a regulated device is because we have to run minimum order quantities on the Met mods. Because of our relationship with our manufacturer, we've got them down to fairly low numbers if we need to. Any company that I've spoken to, that fucking borage smells badass, mate. I mean, I'm not even joking. Every time you blew out, I'm like, what the fuck's he vaping? It's only mine. There's another proud fucking moment. Every company that I've spoken to about producing regulated mods, they're talking about like 10,000 mods. And with the best will in the world, that's a huge amount of money, even buying them at manufacturing costs to outlay on a device that would suit me over anyone else, because I wouldn't release a regulated mod that I weren't 100% happy with. And just because I'm 100% happy with it doesn't mean we've got a market for 10,000 products. So on that basis, it's something that we've been looking at right from the start, because I always felt the Mount market had been completely neglected. And what I will say is, in the last sort of 12 months, Mount has been catered better for from some of the Joytech type guys. And
there's still a lot to go though.
But I still think Mount market is huge. But the truth of it is, again, it comes down to money. 90% of vape shops that I ever go into are driven purely about sub-owned market still. They're driven on sub-owned market because they're the people that spend the most money.
Yeah.
Short fill ruined the industry because people push for short fill because it catered for sub-owned market and they're ruining the industry. And all of it comes back down to turnover, profit, stroke loss on a business. Mouth to lung vaping, for me, is still the future of vaping as far as the longevity of this industry. There's still way more people smoking than these vaping. They're there to be converted. The better the product is, the easier it is to convert them. That said, I've said it many times, there's never a better day than today to start vaping because the products are always improving and getting better and better and better. Feel the toss up with the battery life, etc., and strength restrictions. But I mean, to be honest, Reese, that the strength restrictions probably do definitely apply to nic salts. Don't apply to nicotine. Who the fuck needs to vape more than 20 milligram nicotine? And certainly with modern devices, you don't. In my personal opinion, I used to vape 24 milligram. In fact, 36 milligram I have vaped. It was fucking dog shitty. I vaped 24 milligram for a long time. Dropped down to 18 milligram. I'm now 12 milligram. I can vape 6 milligram in some liquids. If this liquid's too smooth in a 6 milligram, it's not the nicotine I need, it's that fucking thing here that I need. And I get that with 12 milligram menthol, I get it with 12 milligram Heisenberg. That's what I need. But for me, battery life is a massive factor in someone using a very small, stealthy pod type system, and that's why I don't use them. I like them, and I've got every time I see one, I buy one. Even if Tash goes for a walk around Expo, if she sees something that she thinks I like, she'll buy it. And there are always two issues that I've got with most of them pod systems. One, there's no AFC on them, and I know they've put out a new Breeze 2, haven't they, with AFC on, which is fucking brilliant. Breeze 2 that's got AFC on it.
Yeah, because people did
Someone
say
else
it
will
were.
obviously see one of my fucking rants about it. But AFC on any pod system for me is an absolute must, because even mouth to lung vaping, people have got a different way of doing it. There's lots of people that are sub-ohming now. When they try to mouth to lung, they fucking forget how to do it.
Yeah.
And if it's half too airy, they'll naturally go back to a restricted lung kit over a mouth to lung vape. So definitely AFC on a pod system and battery life. And for me, they would nail it.
It's, as you say, it's the investment, and not necessarily just the investment. It's actually having, let's be realistic, people like yourself who goes to China and tells them this technology and tells them the way that they're doing these things. You're saying what you've thought and what you've worked out. They're not necessarily thinking about that sort of stuff. They're thinking about what they can make, manufacture, and sell. They're not thinking about sort of what's. We've all seen regulated devices. Regulated devices at this moment in time are usually the same regulated device with a different tank on every time.
That was the original.
Whether it's a small one or not, it's the same tank. And I sort of think that the technology needs to be given by somebody that's actually in the industry. I don't know whether you think of the same with that. It needs to be, so as I said before, like we're the guinea pigs. You know, we've done modding mods that should have done this and should have done that. You know, we're very much, we say how it should be. Then next minute is China's released a tank
that's the point. That's the point. I was from last week when you asked, is sort of people modifying equipment and modding still a thing? The reality is not so much so, because the minute someone mods something that makes sense, there's a contact there who manufactures it to fill that niche gap, and that weren't happening 5 years ago. China were cloning stuff that didn't need to be cloned, cloning it fucking really badly. They were doing all of that. But actually, I've seen someone earlier comment saying, yeah, look at the shit that fucking Smok make, and it's in every fucking vape shop, and they're not sponsoring vape groups. Actually, they do sponsor vape groups. I know they sponsor Two Girls One Vape for starters. But I still believe that Smok are making decent vape products for the money. When people are saying fucking Smok Alien shit for 60 quid, it's a 200 watt device for 60 quid, and it comes with a sub tank that traditionally sold for 35 quid for a sub tank. On that basis, if you take 20 quid off of the tank, you're left with a £40 device. What the fuck do you want for 40 quid?
But that's what we will spend buying a device like that, an equivalent device. We were spending 200 quid on it.
That's my point. And there's people now saying Smok is shit.
Yeah.
But actually, they're making mods for a market. And if you spend £60 on a mod that come with a mod, it come with a tank, It come with an extension, glass. It come with 2 sub-tank cores that cost £3.54 each. It come with a fucking charging lead, packaged, developed, manufactured, shipped from fucking China. I've got to buy it, I've got to sell it. We've all got to make some money for 60 quid and then go. Fucking thing only lasted me 9 months, man. Fucking hell, I dropped it off the scaffolding. Thing broke to bits in the middle of fucking shit. Actually, you're getting what you pay for.
Gosh, wow.
Now, there's people out there that will get a smock that lasts them 4 weeks and it's fucked. And that is because they're making millions of these devices. They're relatively cheap. And again, I'm not being flippant. To some people, £60 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
When I think you can buy that out of a box for 60 quid, and we used to sell an Atlantis tank for 30 quid.
Sigelli was more than that. Sigelli was
Well, Sigellis were always expensive. I mean, the first Sigelli 100 watt we used to sell for 100 quid.
And you got more batteries.
Then you got to buy a battery, and you got to buy a tank for the
But they
guns.
were stupid money even to buy in. You
No,
were selling
yeah, we
loads of
got-
dough just to buy them in.
82 quid in, sell it for a one.
Yeah.
18 quid profit. Do you know what I mean?
It
And
was
it's like,
stupid to buy in.
and they probably were. I mean, we've still got 100 watt Sigelli in there, haven't we? That we had when we sorted out. There was one of the original 100 watts.
We give it to someone.
Did you? But we had them, and I've never had one go falter.
But
That
we
says
still got it.
we've sold, I would think, from all the Sigellis we ever sold back then, two or 3 years ago, when that was a booming market. We sold a lot of them, but we've probably still sold 50 to 1 smock products because it's become so much more mainstream and people come in now, I want a smock magmate because I want to fucking because I'm sick. So we're selling a huge amount more products. There's going to be more returns. And I've said it before, in our shop, personally, our percentage of return on any brand is pretty much the same. We get more smart products back than any other product, but we're selling more of them. But percentage-wise, it's not that much a drift.
The thing is, I think a lot of people still forget it's an electronic device. You know what I mean? It's going to break down. You don't moan when your kettle, but you obviously moan when your kettle breaks, but you go out and buy a new kettle, you don't go, fucking, I've had it 2 years, I'm taking it back to Asda when I bought it for 18 quid and it needs to go back. You know what I mean?
Going from Asda for 7 quid with a fucking 2 slice toaster that only toasts half your bread at once. You got to flip the guns over on that.
Sure, I've got one of them at my house.
The fucking Asda 180 toaster. What's it called? 180? You got a
I'm sure I've got one of them. It's true though.
Like, why the fuck don't Warburtons make their own fucking toaster that does a whole slice in one shot? It does more fucking browning, mate. You have to do the Warburton shuffle, don't you? Put your toast in, before it pops up, pop it up yourself, flip it over, knock yourself out. You get a decent
That little
piece of
bit just sticks out top, doesn't it? But it's an electronic device, it's true, you know what I mean? It's going back to what we've said so many times, coils. People moan about a coil that's been in there 3 days. We remember trying one for 10 minutes, it was burnt out, so we threw it in the bin and dashed another one in. It goes back to that, it's just sort of...
And 3 days, and isn't it? Fucking, some people are running on the 3 days.
Between 40 and 90 watts, and someone's running it at 120, you know what I mean? You
Even
expect...
at 40, even their recommended isn't recommended.
You need to learn,
No.
don't you, about the coils, how long they're going to last and what you need to be running them at.
I've never once, ever, gone back into any shop and says, fucking 2 days I've been vaping that, mate, and me fucking coil's fucked. I've never once emailed Joytech and says, mate, I put a coil in my fucking tank today and it's fucked right from the get-go. I know how to prime a fucking coil. In fact, we used to prime coils in our shop before priming coils was ever a thing. Like, genuinely, it was never in none of the instructions, but we used to say, I'd started doing it myself. I'd wet my own coil before I put it in, and I'd see it soaking into the wicks, and I'd be like, I'd suck it until I could taste the liquid. I'd have a spitty fucking dozen drags, and then it was mint, and I was good to go. And it was mad. We were doing that sort of 6-12 months before ever a manufacturer ever put anything anywhere about priming a coil. Anyone that's shot with shady vaping will know that I've said to anyone that I've set a system up for, prime your coil, the coils will last longer. It's not in my interest for a coil to last longer.
Yeah.
It's in my interest to sell as many coils as I can and add to the millions of pounds you've already made. But from day one, we've always genuinely gone out of our way to try and, because our mantra at the start of this business was, this will save you money. We never once sold it as a health product because back then we didn't know the fucking ins and outs.
Exactly.
So for me to stay in our shop and go, definitely, mate, you're not going to die from this. if your missus sees how much you've just spent on the card, you're gonna fucking die from this because she'll fucking batter you at the end of the month when your credit card statement comes in.
But the industry is changing.
Used to last 30 minutes. Reece, I can remember literally opening a packet like I had the strip of 5 Kangatech coils.
You knew 2 of them were fucked.
One of them in there, fucking prime it, have a drag, fuck, unscrew it, fuck the coil off, and I'll be like, which one shall I take, man? Which is the good one? There's going to be one good one in this fucking 5. There's got to be one. Sometimes you weren't that lucky, man. 5 of them were fucking shit. Sometimes you got 5 good ones. And when I've got a good coil, I hated changing the cunt. It never spat, it never leaked, and it was fucking writ off to high heaven. And I'd be like, I've got to change my coil, man. Fuck's sake, it's Russian roulette again. I've never once sent a product of that nature back to anyone I've ever bought it off and says, I've got a dodgy pack of coils there. Okay. I just haven't, because, and I'm not even saying that I'm expecting people not to bring you back to us. As a business, if we set a mod up in the shop and it's working okay, and 2 hours later you come back in and go, bro, my coil's burnt out, 250, mate. I don't know whether you've cranked your mod up to 200 watts by accident. Yeah. I can tell straight away when I put a coil in whether that coil's good or bad, because I'm not a fucking idiot. If I press the fire button and it's glowing up orange and it's full of liquid, there's something wrong with the fucking coil. That says the first time I've done that, and I was like, whoa, it was one of them stupid cunty light up fucking I was like, whoa, your mod's gonna fucking vent, mate, what are you doing? You didn't realise there was a fucking torch head in the coil. The Pro Tank needed 2 rebuilding my coils because I was going through 4 coils a day. What the fuck was you vaping on, Reece? Fucking goblin juice. Fucking 4 coils a day. That was his own juice. Can you tell me some more about the freshly painted custom dirties? They're freshly painted custom dirties. You just answered all your questions in that fucking question. No, I've never built. I used to see Stephen Greenwood. I need some non-res wine. I was like, you dickhead, you need to go out and buy a packet of coils, you mad guy. Who the fucking hell has got the time in their life to rebuild fucking
I honestly remember Steve soldering 2 wires, a non-res and a res wire together. I remember that like it was yesterday, because that was the sort of stuff like temperature control and stuff like that. Madness, just people just don't appreciate the sort of shit we have to go through.
I remember Steve Greenwood posting about non-res wire, and I was like, it won't work then, you prick. You need some sort of resistance for it to fucking work, you dickhead.
Yeah, to put them both together, I think. And then I remember him always putting up statuses and pictures from YouTube when he'd have like 19 packs of coils. So yeah, bigger than Paul, I've got my coils, like 20 million coils and stuff. Like,
mate, if Big Tobacco come and, if I go back 3 years, if Big Tobacco come and said, we'll give you £3 million for your business in a heartbeat, but I'm going to supply Stephen Greenwood direct because he'll bring in about another 250 grand a year revenue. The geezer was mad, and he's like, Paul, have you got any of them tanks? I'd message the shop, right? You got any of these tanks? So I got 19, Steve. Yeah, I'll have them. Huh? I'll take all of them. Alas, only likes them tanks. Okay, she fucking keeps dropping the content. I'd be getting on to China, mate. Send me 50 of them tanks. I found these country leads.
And he needs calls for him. He calls for him.
15. I remember, honestly, it used to be like 4 or 5 tanks, or like 20 packs of coils. It's like, Paul's up me up.
He got the sile on. He was even better.
You do got a fucking mouth. How could you use all these tanks?
No, you know what? The thing I love about Stephen Greenwood is that he don't give a fuck about saying, thanks to this company, thanks to that company, thanks to them. He works for Dale. If he has a product of someone else, thanks for that. Been looked after well. And actually, Stephen single-handedly grew the growth of vaping for the last. I mean,
everyone wanted a handshake, though. Stevens, didn't they?
And the massive stuff he'd give out as well.
He did.
And just literally helping
we
people get off and that.
We were not actually about Stephen Greenwood. We had some zero clones. Remember the zero?
Yeah.
Stephen Greenwood bought a zero clone off us, and it had the SX chip in it though, so they were like authentic clones, if that was the right word for it. But it had an authentic chipset in them, but it weren't an authentic zero.
Yeah.
And he bought it from us. I think we were selling the clones for like a $1, and I was paying about fucking 74 quid for them. So Margie Moores, they were shit actually. But he bought one and he hand checked it, and our internet sales blew up from Stephen Greenwood, didn't? I mean, literally, didn't they? And it was like.
So really, we should have started sending free sheets.
Yeah,
He was the
I should have
original.
sponsored the cunt. I should have sponsored him, man. Come on. Fucking every time he says he's got fucking shady vaping mask on.
I like Stephen Greenwood. He's a gentleman, even when he's had a drink. He's
He
fucking
is.
hilarious.
No, I've got a lot of respect.
But he's
for
like
Stephen
one of the
Greenwood.
originators, you know what I mean? A sort of he and it's you can only say there's a few, as I said earlier, there's a few faces that have gone, a few people that have stayed, and it's sort of like you can look back at that and think, actually, there was people out there that was generating sort of the hype for stuff and letting people know this information out there, but they were doing it organically rather than going, I want a litre of juice to say this.
Yeah.
It was organically, and the growth of it was really nice because it was actually genuine.
No, but that's why it worked though, because actually people, I know for a fact Stephen Greenwood just wouldn't have hand checked something.
Yeah.
He might not have put it up saying it's shit. He just wouldn't have hand checked it and said, I've got this, it's fire. Actually, when Stephen Greenwood says this tank's good, the tank was good. It might not have been good for everyone. It was good for him, genuinely, and that's what he'd said. And now, when you've got people going, I'm not even joking, man, it's the best menthol on the market. They've not even opened the first bottle, but I've sent them 2 free bottles.
That's the difference.
Fucking
Then you
balls
try
on
the
a
liquid
piece.
and it's shit, and then you don't trust the next person.
Exactly. And then when they said yours is best liquid on market and they've got 12 other juice lines in their Instagram profile, it's like, what the fuck?
Got a fucking Limitless Modco hat on, going, nah, this purge is sick, brother, man. Who give you a free out there, mate? Wankers out there.
You only have to go through some people's Instagram to see. Hold on, that didn't work for me. That didn't work for me.
Yeah, I've tried getting my tits out, that didn't work. Oh, fucking hell, right, I'm going to stick a fucking ego pen up my foot.
I'm going to fucking Snapchat loads of fucking bottles.
The thing I've noticed about Instagram, there's some tramps on there have had the same 90 for fucking 16 months. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Sort your clothing out, man.
The same tit shop.
No, it's when they've got a bottle of liquid down here, taking a picture down here, you can just see the front of the flug going, oh, look, I've had my nails done today. what the fucking hell is all that about? Check out my new nails. I can't see your nails. You've got 2 digits on your fucking plate. And then they'll put posts up going, I hate vape bags, man. Just rep what you love. You love any bloke that's got a fucking willy. Fucking tramps. Oh, anyway, I digressed away to my expo. Oh, wow. Fucking stroller. Where are we, man? We're getting on towards 10 o'clock.
We are on 3 minutes to 10.
I'm not going till 10 o'clock.
Have we spoke about Expo already?
We've
Spoke a bit about expo. We digressed onto vape slugs. I won't say too much. Tom will get offended when you snuck about it.
Yeah, when we first met Tom, he couldn't talk to us.
no comment. No comment.
Now he's sitting in our house.
No comment.
Staying the night.
Yeah, I know he was going to that. Fucking hate that. He's a right obnoxious guy.
No,
And now I own you, you cunt. As far as tomorrow, we'll obviously be at the NEC. I'll try and go live if I can, but I swear to God, last time we went
It's not gonna happen.
down there on Thursday, we left fucking 8 o'clock. We got kicked out, and that was,
yeah.
and we hadn't even finished setting up the stand. Well, we haven't finished setting up the stock and stuff. We've got an army of people with us tomorrow.
But if anybody wants to come down and give an hand, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. But don't come down in a noisy. I'm not getting nothing free off me apart from abuse, man. We are out of it. I've got to drop the kids to school at 8 o'clock in the morning. Tom and I, then I've got to drive to Land Rover, swap my car. Yeah. For a Disco 5. Not my own one.
Not your own?
No.
Well, what's the point then?
Because it's 7 seats. And I kicked off with them in the week and said I want a 7-seater for bank holiday weekend because I'm sick to death of having to go out in 2 cars.
But we're only going to Expo one day together.
And but then we got Monday and whatever. But so there's lads been loading up tonight with Tash at the shop. They'll be going to Expo in the morning. We've got to go and pick up printing stuff, print it like the booth and whatever. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're just on it. It's a long weekend. Anyone that's coming, please don't be feel daunted to come over and speak to us. But just bear in mind that if I'm talking to someone just as a random chat, and there's people that need to be dealt with as far as the business is concerned, with all due respect, they're going to get more priority. And the same with Tom as well. Obviously, lots of people like to go over and hug Tom and listen to him laugh, and stroke his beard, and try and pinch some of his beard so you can have DNA. Put it on fucking Fleabag. Sell Tom's beard on Fleabag. Tommy's there to do a job. We're all there to do a job, and obviously in the middle of that, we'll do our absolute.
People want to see me too. Hold on.
Tasha will be there.
There you go.
She's normally the busiest out of all of us, to be completely honest. But yeah, I mean, come over. I've not got an issue. I'm not suggesting for a minute there's going to be a queue of people wanting a picture of me, but I've not got an issue with taking pictures. And Nora's Tom, and Nora's Tash, and Nora's the staff. Tash said she has. So don't ask Tash for a picture. She'll go fucking black yell on you. Troy and Milk Tom also.
It's just
Troy and
People try
Milk
milking.
Tom.
just what
Milk is
movies.
What, milking like physically?
I think so. Yeah, I think JB's just being a bellend. Chris, is he coming?
Nah, he's a fucking dropout. He's going to Fest. He's not coming to Vape Expo.
It's going to be in his pushchair again, won't he? Driving around in his pushchair.
Did you have an obesicle last time?
no, his had Dales in there.
No, he had one. He had his own. Yeah.
Lazy fat cunt. The proper definition of an obesicle man is Chris JB just fucking lolling it
I
about.
thought it was Dales.
No, he had his own.
You boys are the first. We're gonna give Big Tom from YouTube a hug.
Big Tom from Endless.
No, even Paul put it earlier. Big Tom from YouTube. It's Big Tom from
I
Endless.
didn't know how to strike out text, so I was going to put Big Tom from YouTube strike out, T Wardley strike out, and then Endless with a big smiley face. You nearly had that on your hoodie, mate. But yeah, come over. The liquids will be there to try. Don't just walk past and keep topping your tank up because you're a bad tramp. But you're welcome to try the liquids. We've got them set up in Mountain, and we'll have them set up in Suburb, and they'll be set up to be able to drip as well if you want to drip. Mod wise, we've got cleans, we've got cleaners, we've got emperors, empresses, we've got dirties.
Very limited.
Which are very, very. I'd imagine by the end of Friday we won't have no dirty mods left. So if you want a dirty mod, you need to get yourself over there. They're only 649 quid. But the last 10, so knock your fucking self out. I've signed the box by Eric Hutchinson. So we've got Emmys in black rhodium, chrome, purple iridium. We've got brass. We've got neo. We've got some silver plated, haven't we? But limited as well. We ain't got many. So we never had no new silver plated. So if we had none left, we've got none. Emperors. Mr. Paul, we sent 6 months ago. Emperors might be there Friday. Hopefully they'll be there Friday. But I can't promise. If they're not there, if they're not at the show Friday morning, they could be there by Friday afternoon.
If they're not there Friday
afternoon, come and see us at Vape Fest. No, I mean, on a serious note, right, if they're not there over the weekend, they will go online as soon as they land and I'll on at Expo prices for 48 hours, and I can't be any fairer than that because I haven't got the stock. So, people, we're out of here. It's been a fucking pleasure. We are live on stage at 2:30 on Saturday. We're going to try and stream that feed live as well. That's the intention. That relies on the internet connection that we've given privilege of at Expo. We have Jack the Random hat with various recording equipment over the weekend. So from tomorrow morning, we've got a GoPro set up in the booth, which will then be turned into a fucking whatever it's called.
Nice.
A time lapse. So we'll have a time lapse of the build. We'll get some footage over the weekend, and sometime next week we'll get our own little naughty little expo video out there. Come and see us on the stage at 2:30. We're going to run until about 3:10 on purpose because the vaping brogan starts at 3 o'clock. So we're going to not doing the giveaway until 5 to 3. No, I'm joking. We've got half an hour. I'm sure we can run that over if we need to by a very short amount of time. I'm not sure who's before us or who's on after us. I haven't got a clue. Come and enjoy yourself. Don't leave your mods lying about. Don't leave your fucking wallets in your back pocket. Do take some water if you don't want to spend 18.50 on a bottle of water. Take cash with you before you get there because they will charge you to take it out.
And it's more expensive there. It's about £4.50 to take the money out of the machine.
We thought like £2.
No, it's not 40. It's 4.75 or something.
So it's about whatever. Even if they charge you 50 pence, you're getting charged to take your own dough. But it's expensive. So go with some cash. If you've got a lot of cash on you, as soon as you walk in, as soon as you walk through the door, bust a right, fucking bam, we're right there. Come and spend some. Get rid of your money to stop people parking it off you. So this is all good, strong fucking expo advice. Comfy shoes, not Crocs though, because I was joking about Crocs. If you wear Crocs, then I'm not allowed to sell you any products. Unless it's Kenner. Nah, Kenny's going to come in his fucking three stripes loaders.
With white socks.
Kenny's not actually coming. He was coming. He must me say he's not coming anymore. On that note, people, we're out of here. I will try and go live, even if I just do a 10-minute live tomorrow, walking through the place on my way and all. I'll try and go live, and if we get Tom, if we're ahead of schedule, me and Tom might do a little cheeky live from Expo. But we are going to be there all day. With the Tom, don't hug Tom past 11 AM because he will be sweaty and stingy. Best Expo advice. Chris is fucking horrible.
He's on to me, yeah.
It does not, yeah. Today.
I think he's just a bit jealous. I think because you told him about his Fatmobile.
His obesicle. I couldn't resist after Tash said there was only about 10 left. We literally have got a very, 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 very small amount of dirties left. And unless I decide to do a run of dirties in this purple, they are done for good. If we do a run of the dirties in the purple, because of the purple costing an extra £77 a mod, obviously we've got to inflate the price. But again, I'll sign the box, so it's all worth it.
Tom will sign the box, make it even better.
Chris, I'm going to open your package in a minute and have a look. People, thank you for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. You've got the best 2 hours out of me and Tom forward to Expo because I weren't even going to do one tonight, but we've done a full 2 hours. Everyone that's tuned in and stayed tuned in, brilliant. Whoever gives the thumbs down on the live feed, I would like you to go and lick him on. On that note, we're out of here. We'll see you Friday if you're coming, Saturday if you're coming, Sunday if you're coming, all 3 days if you're there for the weekend. Have a blast. I am out of here.
Peace.